Oh, hey there. I'm going to share with you 5 power tips that's going to make your cell phone videos look more cinematic, and we're doing that right now. Hey there, my name is Paul and I'm here to share with you how to capture great moments on mobile. Welcome back to my channel and I appreciate you watching this video. So if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button and that little bell right down there. So have you ever asked yourself why some creators shoot amazing cinematic videos just by using their cell phones? Well, I'm going to share with you 5 power tips that can make your No, I'm not gonna say shitty. Well, I'm gonna give you 5 power tips on how to make your cell phone videos look way more cinematic than what it is right now. Phones nowadays are powerful storytelling tools. If you know Steven Soderbergh, he's the guy who directed Ocean's 11, 12, and 13. He was able to make a full-length film using just his iPhone 7. Imagine that, iPhone 7, and now we are on iPhone 11 going to iPhone 12. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the question now is, how do you step up your mobile filmmaking game, especially if you are just starting out? So here are 5 power tips that I use over the years when I'm outside shooting with my iPhone. I cannot stress this enough for you guys. This is important because half of the cinematic stuff that you want to happen in your film goes to post or in editing. So in order for you to have that flexibility in editing, you need the highest quality bitrate possible for your footage, because the higher the quality, the higher the information you put in that footage, so that when you tinker on the footage on post, it gives you a lot of information to deal with. Say for example, you are shooting in low light. 4K Filmic Extreme Quality in Filmic Pro is gonna give you a lot of information. In editing, you can crank up the shadows and you can see a lot more detail in the shot. So use 4K Filmic Extreme Quality when you are using Filmic Pro. And if you're using other apps aside from Filmic Pro, just make sure that you crank up the quality of the bitrate so it can give you a lot of information. You don't want digital noise in your video. It sucks, it doesn't look cinematic at all, it doesn't look professional, and it just looks like you don't know what you're doing. So how do you avoid digital noise? It's easy. Just lower down your ISO, or better yet, shoot in your lowest ISO setting in whatever phone that you are using. For me, I'm using an iPhone 11, so I put my ISO level all the way down to 32. To do that, just bring out the manual controls on your Filmic Pro. Now on the left slider, you'll find this number on top of the 3 red dots. That is your ISO. So to adjust this without adjusting your shutter, you need to press on that shutter value until it turns red, just to lock it. Now move the slider downwards and you'll see that your ISO value goes down as well. Set it to the lowest setting possible and lock it by pressing the value until it turns red. Yes, blur is your friend. Cinematic videos look cinematic because it mimics what you see in real life. And in real life, you see blur just like this. You see, your eyes see blur whenever there's fast motion like this. See that? So how do you achieve blur in your shots? Just use the 180-degree rule. What the hell is a 180-degree rule? For those of you who might not know, a 180-degree rule is just as easy as doubling the number of your frame rate to your shutter settings. So whatever frame rate you are using, say for example you have 24 frames per second or that Peter McKinnon 120 frames per second slow buttery smooth footage, you just have to double that number in your shutter speed. If you have 24 frames per second, you go 1/48 on your shutter value. If you have 120 frames per second, make it 1/240. So since you are locked in your lowest ISO, if you move your slider, you can manually adjust your shutter speed to achieve that cinematic blur. Cinematic films are all about perspective. It's how you want to tell your story as a filmmaker. So try presenting your story on a different perspective. Most people shoot with their... Let's use this. Okay. Most people shoot with their cell phones like... Okay, it's not a cell phone, but it's a doorbell, but it will do. Most people shoot with their cell phones like this. Now try bringing it down like that and start shooting your footage. You'll see a difference. Now, if you really want a different perspective, you can put your cell phone all the way down to the ground to get that low angle shot. I can guarantee you it's a more powerful cinematic shot. Sometimes the most simple shot is the most cinematic shot. You can stick to your rule of thirds or leading lines, but you need to give emphasis on light, shapes, lines, and color. Now, what do I mean by that? An example would be shooting a sunset. You just compose it using the rule of thirds, putting the horizon on either of the horizontal lines, and then try to give emphasis on the light, if it's a silhouette or something. Or if you're shooting architecture, give emphasis on those lines in the building. Always remember simple compositions. It's better to have simple compositions than have no composition at all. So take your time in composing that shot before hitting the record button. If you want to learn more about mobile filmmaking and making that cinematic shot, I suggest you watch this video or subscribe to my channel for more moments on mobile. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace out!